Hi ladies, I've been getting a lot of questions through about mobile friendliness of your website. Finding out Google is actually rolling out a few changes which have got people a little bit scared. It's definitely something that we need to address. There are a couple of things that we can look at whether this needs to be addressed straight away and done as an urgent update, or whether it's something that we can roll out in the next month or two to make your website actually friendly for mobile phones. What that actually means in the broadest terms is that when someone looks at your website on their mobile phone, you've got that here, it will actually display, in this video you can actually see my website as a whole. But if I go over here, you can actually see that my website on mobile phone shows up a lot different. The text increases, it shrinks down so that it's nice and easy to look at. All of the images and things are all big. All of the buttons are easily clickable. One of the big things is being able to click these buttons with your fingertips, because you are using your fingertips on your mobile phone. So we can go through, everything's been formatted here to fix. I'm not sure whether you can see that or not. But on mobile phones, we want everything to shrink down so that when a visitor comes to your website on their mobile phone, on a tablet, anything like that, like for example, I've actually got a 27-inch monitor here. So things for me look a lot different to how it would look on a mobile phone. So we've been going through and doing a lot of updates and making sure that all of our websites are starting to get into a process where they are actually responsive, so that all of that content will shrink down on a mobile phone. Google have actually come out and said they're putting a stand stop on it. If I believe it's the April 21st, and it'll be rolled out over around about a week, that the changes will take effect. But what will happen is if a visitor comes to check out go into their browser, go searching through to find what they're looking for. If they're looking for a business like yours, if your competitors have a mobile friendly website and you don't, their website will be given priority over yours. So this is in things where people are looking for products, for services, anything like that. We eventually want to have that mobile friendly tag come up in our Google searches. So there's a few things that we can do. Because you are going to be penalised with it, it's definitely going to take a hit on visitors off mobile phones, tablets, anywhere that they would use this responsive layout. So what we can do is I've actually set up some Google Analytics, and please check out your analytics, because this is going to actually tell you whether this is something that we need to get done before the 21st of April, or whether it can be done in the next few months and not be a huge panic about it. The one that I've actually set up here is just an audience overview in Google Analytics. So I'm just going to go through down here. So this is my bounce rates and things, not great. But what we can actually do is go down here under audience to mobile. We'll go to the overview. What we can actually see is that if I look down here, of the 55 sessions total, I've had 48 or 87.27% are actually viewing my website on desktop, whereas 7% of my visitors are coming from mobile phones. So for me personally, it's not a major hit that I'm going to take. So I could actually delay this for a month or two and get things in progress a little bit better. I personally, my website's been rebuilt at Christmas time, so when it was rebuilt as mobile responsive. What we can actually do is, and I'll link to this in the bottom comments as well, there is a mobile friendly test that you can do through Google Developers. You go into this website, put in your URL, so put in your domain name there, click Analyze over here, and it will actually give you a full rundown of whether your website is mobile responsive or not. It becomes quite tricky because, especially with our e-commerce stores, there's a lot of changes that need to be included to actually make it responsive. We do have an option that is a mobile app, which means that when a visitor comes to your website, they'll actually be directed to the app side of things rather than to your full website. Has all the functions, shopping cart, all of that sort of thing. Customers are still able to buy. It's not a very attractive format in my mind, and there have been a lot of hours of development over the last 12 months that have meant that our web stores are actually finally fully responsive. In a lot of cases, though, that will mean a complete redesign or rebuild of your website, which takes a long time. It's quite a tricky process. It would be really nice if it was just a drag and drop thing and was really simple to do. But what we actually do with our online stores especially is we effectively create 3 different versions. So I'm going to go over here and show you this one. This was one that we did last year for Healthy Mama. So this one is an online store using Bearcut. And what we can see on this website is that it actually folds down to work exactly how we want it to. All of the buttons are nice and big. You can read everything easily. You can find everything easily. And you can just tap that with your finger. So if we keep going down, we can see all the different versions we've got. iPhone 6, Android, all of that sort of thing. If we go down here to our iPad displays, we can actually see that the website is effectively at its whole when we get back to here. So this website was actually designed specifically to be mobile responsive. We use a lot of grid layouts and things as well. So we do lose a bit of the cuter elements on mobile. We can make them work in a layout, but there's a bit of jiggling around to get it all correct. So with that, it becomes tricky, as we've actually got to make sure that we've got a design for a standard computer, design that's iPad friendly, because you'll even see that these two have different lengths of even just tiny little details, like these flowers here needed to be shortened for a portrait view on an iPad. So tiny things like that need to be taken into account. And then once you get up to our iPhones, so we've got the iPhone 6 here, and that's actually got a bit of room on it, which is quite nice. I like that. But you'll find that that menu actually goes down and becomes a responsive menu as well. So rather than having it all chunky, you can actually go in to each page from that, and it disappears again so that you've got more of the screen real estate available. So each of the pages is then formatted into this little grid and shows up nice and easy on a mobile phone. It is going to be a big deal if you can go back to Google Analytics and you see that you have, for example, I was speaking to someone last week who had over 95% of all traffic to their website was mobile. Their customers were on their phones, and that was when they needed to find that product. So that's obviously going to take a big hit if they have a competitor who is doing a similar service, similar product, and their customers are typing away on their mobile phones. Their competitor is now actually going to get the edge over them because they'll come up further in Google. So in that case, it's essential. We need to do something right now, make sure that we're not going to get hit, because that's 99% of all of the traffic to our website. So that's where checking these analytics and seeing what your percentages are will give you a rate of urgency. We've got to weigh up lots of different things, whether you do want to go the app page, and I'll include a couple of links in the bottom as well for websites that online stores of ours that are using the app, and then obviously online stores of ours that have been developed as mobile responsive. And that way you can sort of weigh up and see which you prefer. There is still a lot of SEO benefits as well as design benefits to having the site rebuilt as responsive, but you are going to have a longer lead time and things because it is a completely new project. We won't have to go through the design stage, but we'll, our team here will actually have to work out 3 different designs for that. So what we do is we go through and put together layouts for the mobile and things and actually see how that's going to work before we start building it, and then go from there. So if you've got any questions at all, it is a big scary update and there's a lot of people completely freaking out about it. There's a lot of people who are going, no, it won't matter. It definitely will matter, and it is definitely something that you want to look at regardless of what Google is saying. At the end of the day, it makes for a much friendlier and much more enjoyable viewing for your customers. So as one part of it as well, if you go back and look through your ideal client, so pinpoint who your ideal client is, where are they looking at your website? Are they, sitting on the couch with an iPad? We're going to have to account for that. Are they out and about and need something urgently? Reach into their pocket, grab out their mobile phone and search. There's lots of things that you need to work out what's going to be the best way for your business. I'm happy to have a chat. I'll be setting up a Facebook chat over the weekend and have an hour the weekend or next week, and set up an hour, and we'll do some FAQs and you can just bounce some thoughts back and forth. That way, if you've got any questions at all, and I'll send out a link to that at the bottom as well, so that you can actually ask questions and find out what's going to be best for you and how to make it work. So if you do have anything and you can't wait till next week, shoot me back an email or pop a comment in the video below, and we'll go through it and work out exactly what we can do to make your website mobile friendly. I will talk to you all very soon, and thank you for checking this video out.